Hello and welcome to the Church of Awesome. I'm Mike Colleen and this is our temple. Alright, so let's get started. Let's get the candle going. It's going to be a short video, but a good video and an important video. It's about judgment. Alright, don't worry, it's gonna turn out good. I promise you. Alright, so I just finished a series of videos. In fact, I don't know if I'm going to upload this first or last, but it's a long series of videos. So one thing I realized is when I first heard the phrase in church, the ultimate sin, I didn't really understand what it was. The pastor kept going over and over, what is he talking about? Well, when I understood that when you close off from God, like in the book of Genesis, chapter 3, when Adam hid from God, Adam and Eve, and it said, and they hid after they felt ashamed. Well, shame will close you off. Like, you don't want to feel shame and you lock up, right? So now you're in your logical brain. The funny thing is that's where the shame is experienced. And that's where narcissists lock themselves. And they try to lock you in there too, which really sucks. So here's the thing. If you watched my videos recently, just before this series I just made now about the Bible and Genesis and all that, I talked about filters. So I can do this. A filter, real quick, could be a belief. It could be a value. It could be a meaning to a word that you associate, but someone associates a different meaning to the same word. So you have two different filters for the same word. So now you're hearing two different things. So if this word means A to you, but B to her, you're hearing two different things, but you really believe this is what's being said. But the third person is saying is like, well, no, that's not what I meant. I actually meant this over here. So these are called filters. So it's like you're looking through sunglasses that are tinted, or they could be green or whatever. So you receive the information, but when it goes through this filter changes it, versus if you have clear glasses or look at it like this, now you're seeing it for what it is. Okay, so this is important. So let's talk about the ultimate sin real quick in judgment. So a long time ago, Pastor Rex kept going over and over about the ultimate sin, and I heard it many times in church for years. I had no idea what it really actually meant. And most people, when they hear it, they don't understand it. They give it this, God's judging me and God's mad at me. Oh, I'm going to hell. Oh, God, I got to be perfect. Oh, please forgive me. Oh, God, I'm going to hell. No, no, no. You're listening to it through a filter of judgment. You're the one judging it. The ultimate sin, like I said in other videos, is that artery. Now, I'm going to get out of this real quick. Is when it's narrow, you have hid from God, and that is ultimate sin because you've closed off. Sin, oh God, I forgot the meaning of it. It means to close, if I remember, it means to close off from. I bet you never heard that. All right. So now let's move on. So when I work with clients, invariably they come in with their own filters, and that's why they're here, because they got a lot of filters that are fucking them up, right? They got a lot of beliefs and values that are in conflict, and they got negative beliefs and limiting beliefs. They got all kinds of stuff going on. That's why they come in. So I'm going to do me first. So a lady that I'd worked with for many, many years to help me with my filters, my issues, there were many times when she was saying this and I got really hurt thinking she was saying this, and I got mad at her. And she's like, that's not what I'm saying. Now, luckily, because of NLP, I have the ability to work around and go, oh, and you ask different questions. Like, oh, okay. And so it was easier for me. Now, it's really easy to work with my clients versus when I look back at all those pastors that were trying to explain stuff, they were saying A, but most people were not hearing this really good news here. They're hearing, I'm going to hell, and I'm a sinner, and God doesn't love me, or God's not judging you. You're judging you. Get out of your way. All right, I'm going to give it away right now. You are the one that is judging you. It's not God, it's you. You are manipulated and tricked by a narcissist in the church, and probably many narcissists who have also manipulated other people in the church to tell you these beliefs, which causes you to judge you. When you are in judgment, you have locked off into your logical brain, and thus you are closed off from God, and thus you are sinning. Once you let go of judgment, you will open back up to God. They weren't hearing what was being said. So during this one period when I was in my early 20s, I've been studying NLP, and NLP is all about understanding communication and how to understand what's a filter and how to see through it, how to ask questions, clarify. It's all about different ways of communicating. And I remember one day I went to the pastor, so what do you mean? That was one of the questions. What do you mean when you say this? Do you mean this? He goes, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this. And I went, oh, because all I ever heard from the people in the pews was this negative thing over here. He goes, Michael, how many times have I told you, stop listening to the people in the pews? They're not reading their Bible. You are. They're not digging deep into the Word. For example, this has a dictionary in it for the New Testament and the Old Testament. So if you go, now I have a couple more over there which go much more in depth, but any important word like the word died, it's got the number 4191 next to it. So I'm in the book of Leviticus, Old Testament, chapter 16, verse 1, and it said blah, 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 died. So now I can go to the back to the Old Testament dictionary and look up that word. What did I say it was? 4191. 41. Am I in the New Testament? Oh, I'm in the New Testament. No wonder. So, okay, here, let's just use this because I don't waste time. So here you can get this for that one word. Now, this isn't, I'm not going to go look for the other one. But look how long that one definition for that one word for this number in the New Testament. And so they could be that paragraph, could be like paragraphs, to explain what this word meant back then when it was written and what they meant when they wrote it in that sentence. That's called digging the meat and eating the meat. And Pastor Rex would always say, Michael, there's sup in the teat. I'm like, well, what's that mean? And he goes, well, they're babies and they're drinking off their mama's teat still. They're not eating the meat. They're not chewing and digging into the Bible, to the hard stuff that is not comfortable. He goes, they're just showing up, and I came to church, therefore I'm forgiven of my sins. And he goes, they're not digging the meat. He goes, you've got to stop listening to them. Keep reading your Bible and keep digging deep and keep asking me questions. So here's my point. I will get a client that will flip out at something I've said. And he's thinking I'm said B when I'm like, no, I'm saying A. Now here's the thing, watch this. I understand it can be very hard to actually hear A even when I'm saying I'm not saying. Now I've got a really good pattern way of helping you through it, but you've got to want to go with me on this. And I promise you'll be like, oh, I thought you were saying this. No, I'm saying this. Thinking of a client in particular where he completely radically misunderstood something I said, and he thought I was judging him and all, and I'm like, I'm not saying that. He's like, yes, you are, and I'm just like, all right, well, if that's what you want to hold on to, okay, whatever. That's all on you. Here's my point. I do understand at times it may feel, because when you come to the table, you bring your own issues, and these issues invariably come up. That's the whole point of therapy. But you have to remember, I know this sounds real hard. Okay, in all these videos I've been making about the right brain, there's no judgment here. There's none. And I know from being over here, living in this judgmental way of being and projecting your judgment onto everyone that you are, because this is what we do. When we have one of our issues come up, that becomes a filter, and we project it onto everyone around us. So when people say something, it goes through this filter, and the filter changes the meaning to what they said. So you're over here going, oh, fuck you. Like, you're an asshole. You may not say that, but you're looking at it like, well, or that was mean. Why did you say that? Communication is really challenging, especially when you have all these issues, and when one comes up, it filters everything through that. All right? You've got to at least have a moment of, maybe that's not what they meant. And you've got to have an open mind to be like, to listen to what they say. All right? So that's it. When you come to me, there is no judgment. If you experience that, it's probably because you're listening through a filter of judgment of some sort that says, when someone says this, it means that over here. when actually I'm over here saying this. Hey, this is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. God bless you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully I see you in a coaching session. All right, bye.